Hey guys, when I do these videos, I really appreciate having a monitor attached to the camera. Because when I'm doing a video inside of my office space here, or studio, and the camera's quite a ways back from me, that little 3-inch screen in the back of the camera is just about impossible for me to see. You can set up a video monitor off of your camera for no cost, or really low cost, with a old computer flat panel display. Now this old flat panel display is about 20 years old, and it's not very interesting by today's standards. It doesn't have HDMI input. It doesn't support all of the latest features of today's monitors. It's not the kind of monitor you'd want to put onto a current computer. And you can pick these up for nearly nothing, or maybe nothing, or maybe you have one sitting in your closet with an old computer. And so these displays are not very interesting and not very desirable and readily available for just about nothing. But they will work really well as a video monitor on your camera, or many of them will. Those old monitors, they don't use HDMI. In fact, I tended to hook them up to computers via VGA, and that's a totally different signal format. And my first thought was, well, could I convert HDMI from the camera to VGA to drive one of those old monitors? And yeah, you can get converters that do that. But in that process, you're going to lose a whole lot of video quality. So I don't advise going that direction. But I did notice that on many of those old monitors that I have, in addition to VGA input, they have DVI input, digital video interface. And so the next question was, well, can I go from HDMI to DVI? Because that would be a higher quality picture. And the answer is yes. The DVI interface is expecting video signals that are in the exact same format as HDMI. So that means that you don't need to do any conversion or any translation. You just simply need to present the DVI connector on that monitor with the signals from the HDMI connector on the camera, and you're good to go. And you get complete full fidelity video, so you get nice, clean, clear, crisp looking video. And all you need is the right cable. Most of these old monitors will work just great. So here are the things that you should keep in mind if you're going to head down this direction. On your camera, you likely have an HDMI video output jack. And that jack could be presented on one of 3 different types of HDMI connectors. It could be a standard HDMI connector, the largest of the bunch. It could be a micro or a mini. And so you need to identify what kind of HDMI jack your camera has so that you can get the correct sized cable that's compatible with it. You want a cable that's of reasonable length, maybe 6 feet, maybe 10 feet, so that you can place the monitor where you want it to be. And then on the monitor needs to have a DVI digital input. The monitor also needs to be able to support the video format that's coming out of your camera. Out of my camera, I get 1080 high definition video, and that's easily supported by the old monitors that I have. So chances are your old monitor will support the video that comes out of your camera. And finally, if you have a choice, I would choose an old monitor that is of 16:9 widescreen format, because that's the aspect ratio of the video that's going to come out of your camera, and that would fit most nicely on the screen. Not a deal breaker if you don't have that, but that would be my preference. Now, if you don't have an old monitor yet, I would suggest that you purchase the cable first. That way you can take your camera with that cable and go check out the prospective monitor to make sure the monitor is going to work before you commit to it. So if you're going to the pawn shop or your friend's house and they have an old monitor, you can check it out and try before you buy. So that's my tip on how you can repurpose an old computer display into a video field monitor for your camera. If you're interested in the cables that you need to make this connection, I'll put some examples in the description down below of an example of a mini, micro, and standard HDMI cable to DVI so you can get this hooked up. Appreciate you taking the time to hang out with me for a little bit. Check out the content on the channel. You might be some other good stuff there. And I hope to see you again soon on another upcoming episode.